Hey everyone, welcome to my corner of curiosity. This year is 1945. The world has just survived its deadliest war. But even before the dust could settle, a new kind of war has begun. A war without bullets, fought in laboratories, in space, and on a chessboard, yes. This is the story of how Cold War shaped the world and how a young American genius named Bobby Fischer became one of its most unlikely warriors. When World War II ended, two nations emerged as superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, which is the USSR. One believed in democracy and capitalism, and the other believed in communism and state control. The world wasn't just rebuilding, it's dividing. Europe was split by the Iron Curtain, the Germany was divided into East and West. The United States rebuilt the Western Germany through a Marshall Plan, while the Soviets tightened their grip on the East. The world stood on the edge, two ideologies locked in an invincible standoff. And when America dropped the atomic bomb, the message was clear. The power now lies in technology and modern warfare. Cold War. This is not any real war. It is a contest of science and physiological warfare. In this period, the arms race began. They have built bombs which can destroy the Earth multiple times. Space race has pushed the humanity beyond the space. The Soviets launched their first manned mission into space. The Americans landed on the moon. Hence, show the nature of the war. But this war is not technological, it is cultural. Every victory, from space to sports, has become a symbol of psychological superiority. There was a neck-and-neck competitions in the events like Olympics. Somewhere amid this tension, a quiet game began to gain meaning far beyond the board. In the Soviet, chess wasn't a game, it was a weapon of pride. Soviet players dominated this game for decades. There are legends like Mikhail Tal, Spassky who were seen as absolute elites, seen as a proof of communist intellect supremacy. Meanwhile in America, chess was barely on a cultural radar. Until a young boy from Brooklyn appeared, he is Bobby Fischer. A loner, a prodigy, a rebel, Fischer learned Russian just to read the chess books. While others practiced in teams, he trained alone. The Cold War has found its warrior. Fischer was a lone kid from a broken family. He was impacted by the Cold War ideology. He suspected that he was being spied by the Russians, KGB. Chess became his only way out. He rose up to the ranks by beating anyone and everyone in his way. The Soviets were world champions for 24 years. Fischer has won the candidates, which is a step before the world championship. He wanted to be a world champion and prove the world, not only I am the world champion, but I have defeated the Soviets and the communism. In 1972 in Iceland, the world championship match has begun. The stakes were more than just a trophy. The White House has followed the games. The Soviet newspaper called it a battle for the mind. He complained about the sound of the camera and made a blunder. A silly mistake. He lost his first game. In the second game, he never showed up. He demanded to play in a ping pong room because the cameras were making a lot of noise. Spassky, who had an early advantage, didn't want to win this way, agreed to play in a ping pong room. Game 3, he showed up, played a very good game and won it. Then came the Game 6. It is called the Game of the Century. Top grandmasters were awestruck with the kind of moves Bobby Fischer played. He broke the Soviet dominance move by move. When Fischer won, America cheered like it has won a war, and in a way it had. But the same fire that fueled Fischer's brilliance also consumed him. Fame, paranoia, and perfectionism drove him away from the game he conquered. He disappeared from public life, resurfacing decades later, a ghost of the Cold War's greatest mind. In the end, Fischer wasn't just fighting Spassky or the Soviets, he was fighting the weight of a world divided and the burden of a genius in the age of ideology. When the Cold War ended, the world slowly forgot that at one point a 64 squared board became a battlefield and a quiet man from Brooklyn became a soldier of intellect. Today, every time we move a pawn or calculate a line, we are echoing a time when the world's greatest powers fought not with bombs, but with brains. This was the Cold War's quietest battle and Bobby Fischer's loudest victory.